check in now with First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin. Cutter, it's definitely cold enough for people to be getting out those heavy coats.
Yeah, and I've seen so many hats, gloves, mittens, everything to stay warm. And we're kind of locked into that colder than average weather pattern. This is new for you at 11. Technically, no WJZ viewing area county is included yet, but we actually have a freezing fog advisory. If you've been out at all this evening in Baltimore, you've seen that thick frost over pretty much every vehicle outside. There's a lot of moisture in the air at the surface, and to our south, enough of that to create fog, and where temperatures are below freezing, there could be a thin glaze of ice. Again, that is Calvert County, St. Mary's County, Dorchester County. Temperatures for the most part right around freezing, though some are below. Easton down to 29 degrees, and most of us waking up to temperatures in the mid to upper 20s tomorrow morning. And where patchy fog does occur, there could be a slick spot or two on the untreated surfaces. Just something to keep in mind, along with all the layers out the door for the early morning church service, the chores, the plans. We're back above freezing as we get into mid-morning. Clouds, though, like today, blocking out some of that sunshine. I do have sunnier, but also much colder weather on the way. That and more on our next chance of wintry weather coming up. Great.
Holiday spirit, Cutter.
Yeah.
This weather certainly is helping with that. It's getting cold around here.
Absolutely. I took a little stroll around the neighborhood the other evening with some snow on the ground. Absolutely gorgeous when that happens. Maybe another opportunity, Grace, for that to happen later this week. More on that in a second. First, though, not snow, but freezing fog, something we haven't had to talk about yet this season. We have a freezing fog advisory now in effect. That's in effect for St. Mary's County, for Charles County, Calvert County, just to the south of Anne Arundel, and then getting over across the bay to Dorchester County. This is because we do have fog, and fog is thick enough to create a little bit of mist, and temperatures in these areas, these spots, are below freezing, so there could be a thin glaze of ice. Just something to keep an eye on if they expand it again. Of course, we'll keep you updated. You can wake up with First Alert meteorologist Rochelle J, and she'll walk you through that fog setup in the morning. Temperatures right around freezing now, hour by hour, but cooling back into the upper 20s early tomorrow morning, not just in Baltimore, but really across central Maryland here, over to the upper reaches of the eastern shore, though Stevensville right on the water, 32, 26 in Frederick, 28 in Elkton, 28 down in Cambridge. So a cold start tomorrow morning, but a nice recovery. So the what to wear, the dress for the day forecast, a little bit more complicated tomorrow because we're going to have a cold start in the 20s. I don't think you need the hats and the gloves necessarily, maybe the beanie, but the gloves and the scarf you can probably leave out unless you're outside for an extended period of time, because we're back in the 40s tomorrow afternoon, high temperature of 43. If you are staying at home, not going to the game at M&T Bank Stadium, it's still going to be a solid day to maybe get out, do a little grilling for the friends that are coming over cheering on the Ravens. Chilly, yes, and we're back in the 30s by 5 p.m., but a dry day despite some of the clouds. Probably cloudiest in the mountains, and then you get to the slightly lower elevations near Hagerstown. Temperatures in the 40s with more sunshine. Southern Maryland, Eastern Shore and beaches, I think a pretty cloudy day with just peaks of sunshine, kind of like what we had today. Not much sun, though more than what we had yesterday. High temperature tomorrow, 43 as mentioned in Baltimore, but 43 as well in Frederick. Clinton the same, Cambridge the same, 42, close to 43 in Elkton. When you have clouds like tomorrow, you just don't have a big range in temperature. So that 43 is going to occur about halftime or so tomorrow, and we will have that battle between the sun and the clouds. North and westerly breeze, 5 to 10, not windy, but enough of a breeze to occasionally make those 40s feel more like 30s. We have a front moving through after the game Sunday night. We will be watching, but it looks like any snow with that is going to remain closer to Roanoke, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk down into northern North Carolina. If you're traveling that way, could drive into some snow right now to our south, but we're keeping an eye on it. Bitterly cold Monday. Tuesday wind chills are in the single digits in the teens. Tuesday morning, you will need all those winter layers once again. Wednesday, bit of a break, could be an isolated rain shower, and then Thursday, regional storm system moving in. Not a guarantee to cause wintry weather issues here locally, but there is that chance. The mix to snow to rain line residing very close once again, grace to our area, but drying out as we get into next weekend.